How good is JoJo's Part 3, Stardust Crusaders? Immediately you notice it has a little bit more of a serious tone in comparison to the last two parts. We're introduced to Jotaro, who is the main character for this part, as well as all the other characters working with him during this part, like Joseph Joestar, Kakuin, Polaref, and Muhammad Avdol. Jotaro is a much more serious character in comparison to the last two characters we've seen. He's 17 years old, is independent and intelligent, as well as calm and confident. He was an interesting main character to get for this part, and this is when stands were introduced, his being Star Platinum, and he had a very cool stand. His stand has one of my favorite designs. They're trying to save Jotaro's mom's life from her own stand since it's been awakened, and they're trying to stop Dio, who's came back in Jonathan Joestar's body. We get to see a lot of minor villains during this part and different stands. I find it all very enjoyable, and the whole adventure they went on and all the traveling they did to Egypt and India, very interesting. All of the main characters during this part that were alongside Jotaro were great, and they made a really good group. In the beginning, Jotaro thought he had an evil spirit, and by the end of the part, he beats Dio with that so-called evil spirit. So his character developed a lot over time. Some of the character deaths, like Muhammad Avdol, were pretty shocking, but then of course he ended up coming back. And then Dio was the one who killed Kakuin. They eventually found out Dio Brando's stand power, which was the ability to stop time. And that's why earlier we saw that he was able to keep moving Polaref down the stairs, which is a crazy power to have. But then Jotaro also ends up having the ability to stop time, but he hasn't had enough time to practice with it as Dio, so he can't use it as effectively. And their final fight against each other was really good, the best fight in all of JoJo's, and Jotaro ended up winning. Jotaro also reminds me a lot of Batman, and Batman is my favorite superhero, so it made Jotaro even more likable because he had many similar traits to Batman, and he also is kind of like a detective. The amount of villains and also Dio's pawns they had to go up against was crazy during this part. Some people will complain and say it feels like the same thing over and over again, like the villain of the week. But I think this part was unique, interesting, and introduced stands, and I think that the designs for the characters and the art style was really good. Some people don't like how long the part is, but I actually really do like how long it is. We got more, but it wasn't like it was way longer than the other parts. And I feel like this part just was really good overall because Jotaro was a really good main character, and all the moments felt unique and intense a lot of the time, like something new we hadn't seen in the other two parts yet. Also, the intro song to this part is really good. This is the part that I've watched the most times, and it is my favorite JoJo's part, tied with Battle Tendency. The only thing I wish that was better during this part was how they used Dio, because I feel like we didn't get to see him much until the big moment at the end where they had the fight and Dio went after them. If we had seen him a little bit more the whole way through, or just what he was doing more secretly, I would have liked that. But overall, this part is really good, and it's a part I'm gonna watch again many more times. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.